Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of Borderless Minds podcast, the BM Pod. Again, you've probably realized we like the DMV area. This is our second episode of On the Road in the DMV area, and we have a special guest, our first female guest on the BM Pod.
I know that.
So,
To highlight that.
First
yes,
female.
yes,
Big
and
time.
it's the year 2025. You
Appreciate
can see the year 2025 is starting off strong.
Diversification.
Yes, different perspective and points of view. Again, it's your favorite hosts, Jadot and my boy.
Christian. I don't
And-
know why you keep saying favorite guest, favorite hosts.
We eventually be.
Favorite yet.
We'll
become.
eventually be.
So it's
Yeah, you don't know
brainwashing.
that.
Brainwashing.
Maybe. You know?
This, from what I've heard, people like our podcast. At least maybe they lied to me. Anyway, while we're saying that, please go ahead and follow our social media platforms at the BM Pod on Instagram and TikTok while it's still active. THEBMPOD at the BM Pod. Also, subscribe, turn on notifications for any new content that's uploaded to YouTube. Please go ahead and that way you can get the notifications and be able to catch up. If this is your first time seeing us, go ahead and just see other videos as well to get a good idea of what this podcast is about, and you're probably gonna figure out what we're doing. And we hope that this year is starting off strong. We've already had amazing guests lined up for you guys, and we hope that we inspire some of you guys, make a lot of you guys laugh as well, and also tap into different things that you didn't know were there. Without further ado, I would like to introduce our first guest, Kelly. Go ahead and tell our audience what's your name and how long you've been in the U.S. and what you currently do.
I'm Kelly, as you said. I've been here since 2011. I was doing the math. It's a long time. I basically grew up here at this point.
Yes.
And
adults.
I'm a designer here in Washington, D.C.
Interior designer, clothes designer.
Oh, true. I'm an interior designer / architecture. Well, really, building designer, if you will.
How did you get
Wow.
into that? Actually, even the fit also matches.
I mean, design is design. You gotta,
It's like, sure, yeah.
you
you
gotta
put-
show in every part of it,
I
as
like
they
that.
say.
Love that.
So you gotta channel that into every aspect of your life.
I mean, inspiration.
I like that.
You know, I feel like I should dress up.
Okay.
Anytime you're
Yeah.
about to go, into
Yeah.
a house, interior, designing a house, designing clothes,
Just little
everything. You
things.
start in the
Yeah.
morning, it's designing.
Yeah. It's a blessing and a curse.
Ah,
You're
Sitting there
stuck
like,
into
oh,
it.
That nail should not be there. Half my
We
life.
saw you when
Yeah.
you walked in the house. You
Yeah.
started putting things together.
Behind the
Started
scenes,
putting it
yeah.
Behind the scenes. So
Behind the
this
scenes.
place has changed because she just walked in. But that's how it show that you actually that person in life, and it's not just something you do for work because you even just
Yeah.
portraying everything else aspects in your life. But before we go farther into it, the little things, how
Yeah.
did you get into that? What was your major?
Really
How
get
did
into
you?
that. I did architecture in school, and I think we'll talk about it. But so I came here for part of high school.
Okay, that's what I was gonna ask. Did you come here to college, or did you start with high school when you first came to the U.S.? What was your first education level when you came? Was it high school, and then what came to the decision of you coming to the U.S.? Did you consider anywhere else before coming to the U.S.?
To be honest, I didn't even know that the U.S. was an option.
Huh?
It was I knew I wanted to go somewhere.
Yeah.
That I didn't want to go to school in Rwanda.
In the
no
Rwanda
offense.
college.
Because
Yeah.
I wanted to do I knew I wanted to do architecture.
Wow,
But in
wow.
Rwanda, I think the school of architecture was like
Kissed.
2 years old, basically.
Yeah.
2 or 3
Okay,
years.
wow.
So I already that I'm like, oh my god, that's too young.
Yeah.
So I always thought, honestly, I thought I was gonna go to like Singapore,
Yeah.
because that's where
Oh,
everyone was,
that's
Yeah, I
like
remember
Wow.
all of friends, like
Friends,
anybody
yeah,
that I knew that was older was
architecture.
doing that.
Yeah.
But then in between, I just started at Green Hills,
Yeah.
yeah.
and so my parents were like, "Oh, you really want to do this?" I was like, "I mean, I think it makes sense." Did I know what architecture was fully? I just knew it was like drawing houses. I knew
And
it
it
wasn't
sounded
engineering,
cool.
but
Yeah.
it was still like kind of science mathy. I was like,
Uh-huh.
"Alright, I'll do that."
Yeah.
And then they sat me down one day and they're like, "Hey, like you said you want to do this. Do you think you'd want to go to the U.S.?" I was like, "Oh,
It's an option.
that's an option." Yeah.
And at what time point is it? Are you having this conversation with your parents? Like, what grade
I
are
think it
you?
was grade 11.
Oh wow. Okay.
And that's when we had just switched to like
It's IB.
Yeah,
From
IB.
Cambridge to IB. Yeah.
insanity. And I was like, absolutely. You mean I don't have to take IB?
You and Kenny escaped. You and Kenny
Yeah.
escaped.
I was like, absolutely. I'll do whatever it takes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how did they get informed about schools in yours with their friends, or did they just like,
Yeah.
hey, we want to invest in you? Which they
I think so there was like a wave of kids that
At
were
that
kind
time,
of right then in 20 I think it was 2011
11,
2011
yeah.
and a lot of kids were coming here, and so we had a couple family friends, and then we had another family friend who kind
Discussion.
of sat with them. I was obviously, this was all happening to me. I was just
Behind the
going to
scenes, you just
I was
like,
fighting with IB and like CAS and doing my
I'm fighting for my life.
yeah, every day, bro. And then the whole English thing, which I think we had the same experience where
yeah,
we did like Francophone school. So now I'm at Green Hills trying to learn English.
English.
And they're like America. I was like, yeah, but
Yes.
also have you speak?
To be honest with you,
Wow.
trying to go, I'm not cutting you, but
Yeah.
the way you seemed at Green Hills, you were comfortable in English, like compared to how I was, because I saw you, it was, well, a few other people that were
Yeah.
coming from different schools, from French, Francophone. But the way you integrated, man, I was like, I want to be like Kelly. Like, I want to do that because you
thank you.
seemed comfortable.
You know the fake it till you make it.
Ah.
It was nice. Because sometimes Avi would be in like the cafeteria.
Yes.
People would say something, I would just smile. I was like,
Yeah.
no idea. I was just saying.
Okay, so it wasn't just me. But for better context, they went to the same high school, which was like a little
Switching
bit
from Francophone to English.
Francophone is,
was
means
one
like
of the things.
French is like the medium of communication at that school. That's what it
Yes.
means,
Oh,
Francophone.
Francophone. Oh,
Yeah.
I keep forgetting that. Yes.
Now you're right,
See, this
yeah.
is why the
But to be
competition-
fair, our class was, most of us were French speaking.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
we would only speak English in class.
Only in
When you
other
had to.
classes,
When we
yeah.
had to.
Yeah.
Every other minute, French.
French or Kinyarwanda.
Ah.
Yeah. So really, it was like
worked
like
out.
a semi-trust.
But it kind of helped because the adjustment of different schools is pretty much what portrays when you start going outside. We were discussing that with Igor in a previous episode about how you've been adjusting to so many things in your life that that's like a training for you. So that even the language switching, culture switching here is another thing that I didn't
Adaptability.
realize that this is something that we're being trained for the future. So
Yeah,
it's a
I
skill.
mean, we didn't know, but for sure, because imagine, before Green Hills, I was at Notre Dame.
yeah.
That's what I was gonna ask.
Very different.
Completely.
Very, very
Or the
different.
way
Environments.
Americans may say Notre Dame. So just I'm trying
It
to
just
Notre
sounds
Dame.
so wrong when you say it like that.
Notre Dame.
Yeah, Notre
Go
Dame.
Buckeyes.
College.
Yeah.
Tomorrow is the finals. Do you watch football?
Of course.
Okay. All right.
I
We'll get there.
We'll get there. I had to.
Aha.
Yeah.
All right. Here you're sitting down with your parents and they're
Yeah,
telling
so
you
they
like
tell
this is an
me,
option.
And then they're like, well, so you have to do like a little interview with the school. And I was like, what does that mean? They're like, yeah, like she's gonna call you, and then you're just gonna talk.
Yeah.
And this is the high school, the U.S. high
This
school.
is the U.S. high school.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was like, sure, I'll do it. And then I think they had also said that I played basketball, which, back then I was a hot shot.
Yeah.
If I may say.
Literally.
Candace Parker of
Literally,
Rwanda.
I can
Candace
confirm.
Parker.
Yeah. Back then.
Like when you,
GHA Hall of Famer. If you all
Crazy.
pretty much seen this,
may I ask
This
how
girl
tall you are?
cooks.
Like we may edit this out if you
How
don't
tall I
want.
am now or back
Yeah,
then?
now.
Now
Do you wanna
I'm
edit it out?
about 6'3".
Nah, I just want to give
she
people
put
context.
GHA Girls School on the map.
You know that I went on the
Championship?
news.
You were, yeah,
You
you
know that?
No, actually, I didn't know that. That's news to
I
me.
did a little interview. I think it was like TVR.
Oh, really?
After
After
we
the
won
GHA championship
thing,
at the FAC, I remember.
yeah.
IFAK,
Yeah.
just for context.
Oh, I keep. Did you
I
know,
know.
like, IFAC and how they actually say IFAK, like, but in English, how
Sounds
it's
like
like
you're
a
cussing.
cuss word.
Of
So
course,
he keeps
Oh.
telling me, like, I didn't know. It's like, thank
I
you,
wouldn't
me
think
too.
about
But this
it.
guy
Yeah.
somehow catches everything. He's like a genius of like a little moderator
Thinking
that
3
gets like.
steps ahead.
I'm like, okay, but yes,
Anyway.
you were on TV right after basketball.
Yeah.
the
I think the
championship?
coach was like, hey, like the news is going to be here. Do you want to do like a little interview? I was like, sure. In what language? Kinyarwanda.
Oh, really?
How was your language?
Do you
How do you express?
Because you said
yourself
like you went
It
to.
was hard.
I'm assuming. Where did you go to primary school, elementary school?
La
La Colombia.
Of course.
I figured. Anyway, so La Colombia, French speaking primary school, and then
Yeah.
Notre Dame.
Notre Dame, equally
Say-
French.
So and then you switch to
GHA.
English.
Because remember, I think it was
2010.
around like 20.
Commonwealth
2009.
when we did the switch.
Everything switched.
Mhm.
And they all decided we're going to do English now.
Yeah.
That's when you went to GHA as well.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's like I
Ah.
can't possibly, I got to be immersed.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
the
had to-
parents actually
well,
were
the
the
parents
ones that.
did. I had to negotiate,
Wait,
with my
what?
parents.
About?
Because Notre Dame is a great school.
You're right.
It's like
Yeah.
the brightest of the brightest go
Of
there.
the girls, yes.
And I was like, I had to sit them down. I was like, Mom and Dad, I need to ask you something. Because I think at that time, a couple of friends had just gone to Green Hills. And I was like, I don't want to stay here. My friends are over there.
I want to go.
It's like, what if I score really highly on the national
exam.
you
Ooh,
gonna
that
go?
was
And, I was like, can we switch? And also with the new English, the school
System,
doesn't quite, the teachers don't speak English, and
Yes.
it'll be good
Mhm.
for us.
Yeah.
man, was it?
That's
That was something. But okay, wow.
That's a actually strong argument.
She was
to say.
negotiating
Did you-
at that
did-
age.
wait, Did you even think about the teachers, or you just wanted to go with the
I
friends?
just wanted to go, but then my sister had just started school. Like she's like a couple years behind me, and she was in that class that was speaking English, and I was hearing the
The way they
professors.
teach.
I was like, there's
like,
no
yeah.
way I'm
Yeah.
making it in life if I have to like see all
Cool.
my friends go to an English school, and then
And
I'll
I'm
just be
just
here
stuck here.
pretending.
Yeah.
And I
Man.
was also tired of like an all girls
Like a boarding school.
Yeah.
run by.
Did you
nuns.
go boarding? Was it boarding school when you went going there, or like did you go home?
I went home up until the last year.
And then
I
it
had
was
to-
boarding
I had
school.
to study. you know,
So you're one of those kids, huh?
I was like,
You a basketball player, Kelly, the basketball player. Did you play basketball like Notre Dame?
I did, and up until my grades started suffering, not because of basketball, because I was just
Tired
playing
of
around.
being
Just
there.
being a
It's
teenager.
not an environment where you
Yeah,
feel
so
like
my
you're
parents were
flourishing.
like, "You need to focus on school."
Forget basketball.
So forget basketball. I was like, "Oh no."
That's how I study
Yeah.
actually. This is
Yeah, I was like, actually, basketball really helps.
Yes.
You make sure that you study.
100%.
So then I went to boarding school so that I could do both basketball and study.
Wow.
I know.
Okay.
So
Okay.
GSP.
So you do at Green Hills. You do an interview for the U.S. high school.
Yeah.
Uh,
Nice.
She's
and-
talking
Yeah.
to me, and for the most part, honestly, thank God she spoke slowly, because half of it I was like, I don't know exactly.
She
What
spoke
just said.
what?
Very slowly.
Oh.
Because one, it's not on video. It's like Skype.
just- Oh.
So I'm
And
just
I
listening.
forgot about
Trying
Skype.
to-
Oh
yeah.
man.
Yeah.
And the internet was not
as
strong.
Yeah,
so with video, nothing.
cutting all
happened.
the time.
MTN modem.
Yeah, so she would ask questions, and I would just think about it, and then I'll respond.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't remember what she asked, but I think it
Yes.
worked out more or less, because after that they're like, "Well, can you send us a video of you playing basketball?"
Yeah.
I was like, "How do I even go about that? Like, who do I ask?"
Yeah.
Wow.
Did you get the video?
Yeah, I asked a friend. I was like, "I'm just gonna shoot around. Can you
And
just
just
like take?"
send it.
Yeah, so then I sent that. They're like, "Ah, sold." They come on.
They probably saw the height. They were
I
like,
was just like dribbling and shooting.
But no, she is really good. Like when
I
you
believe you.
see,
I believe you.
No, I'm retired now. No, I can't be bothered to play.
coaching.
Yeah.
So you don't play no more.
Well, I do, but it's so
Ever.
aggressive.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Once I got here, I was like, "Oh my god, you're just pushing me around." I don't want to fight for a ball.
Like it's
You're not used to
different
this.
type of
It's a
competitiveness when it's here.
Yeah,
Like
it's like the
they do
stamina
pros
is not
here
there.
versus like Rwanda. You're doing just for fun. Like there's
Yeah, I was
no.
like, I'll just shoot around.
going pro.
Oh wait, so there was no WNBA on the picture for you?
Now, once I saw what I had to do, I was like, I gotta hit the weights every day. Every day, it's crazy.
I just want to play.
'Cause I want to play
Forget
for fun,
everything
For the
else.
fun, yeah.
and then wake up, because they wake up in the morning and they do
Yeah.
the workout.
Yeah.
Nah, I like to sleep in.
Because he did that in
Alright.
college here.
Had to wake up at 4
Yeah,
a.m. I still
4
had
a.m.
classes at 8, and I was sleeping in. Like, I was falling
Absolutely not.
asleep during classes. So you're right. Like
Yeah.
it's a dedication.
It's a full career, basically.
It is.
Yeah.
It's your life. People
Yeah.
like people are serious about it. We just don't know for us because you play home. You play like maybe what 3-4 times a week, and it's
yeah.
just playing. There's nothing
There's
else.
nothing on the line.
And on the other, yeah, it's just okay. I still gonna go play. I like it. It's fun. Like you said, it kind of helps with disciplining yourself and
Yeah.
say, I'm making time for playing. I'm making time to study. I'm making time to this, and the dedication to itself kind of translates. It's also in everything else that you do because
True, yeah.
you're dedicated. You see things that are going in. You're being interviewed.
Yeah, it's just a
What's
lot.
it
Yeah.
So you can see like it translates in your life. But so you go here. Go ahead.
Quick interjection. TV is the national television, like
Like I said.
Rwandan television, RTV. For context,
This is why
they're
he's the
saying a lot of
moderator.
things
This is
in
like the
French.
moderator.
Just for clarification, a lot of things are being said in French. So anyway, so you did your interview. Now, like it's in the picture of you being able to come to the US. Then what's next?
Well, so
Where's
now,
your school actually?
where's this
Oh,
school?
yeah.
It was
Yeah.
in Connecticut.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Do you think I called it that? And it was in Connecticut, please. Because the first time they said it, I was like, I don't know what.
I don't know what that means.
I knew
It's
I
like
knew two
Connecticut.
things. I knew Boston and I knew Los Angeles
In New York.
and New York. Yeah.
The big cities.
Everything else, I was like, I don't know what that means, but it's America.
It's America.
America was tall buildings, the sun. Just like,
Winter?
yeah. No, winter. I was like, that's the snow is for the movies and it's for Christmas.
Really?
Oh,
So you were not excited about winter?
Well, I didn't. The only thing that I knew was what I saw in movies.
Those movies,
Did-
yeah.
like,
this
did you
is-
have any idea of what being
No.
that cold meant?
No. But I wanted to see it. I wanted to.
Of course, I wanted to see it, but
No.
I was more excited about the skyscrapers and the Boston Celtics. That's
Ah,
where I was at.
nice. Yeah.
So then after that, I think the school, like, we had to work out the financials and all
Mm-hmm.
that stuff. And like, I was super lucky, got a really good scholarship.
Basketball
So then,
helped.
of course,
the video.
basketball helped.
Yeah.
And I was coming. So the school is a boarding school in
High school.
high
Yeah.
school.
Wow.
Because nobody else from my family was coming. It was just me.
Yeah.
So you have to find a way,
Gotta find a way,
where to
yeah,
live.
somewhere to
Where to
live.
live.
Yeah.
And how big was your school? Like how many? What's like your student average? Like
I think it was super
1,000?
small.
Oh, okay.
No, it was maybe like 200.
wow.
That's small.
Yeah, so it's
Private.
a
But it was a private- okay.
prep
Yeah.
school.
Like all the
Only a
investments
private one will
come-
take you because like
yes.
they have the infrastructure to be able to
Yeah.
like know all those things.
Accommodate,
Yeah.
and
all
all
that. Yeah, live on campus and
Okay.
yeah.
So
It
you
was,
get
like, super small.
acceptance. Did you tell anybody at school? All I
I
remember.
couldn't
is you
tell
left.
anybody.
I know.
Why?
Because I wasn't sure. Because one, I wasn't sure if I had a visa.
Investi-
I wasn't
yes.
sure if what the money was gonna be, and it was just a lot
There's a lot
happening.
going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what are you thinking? You're coming to school. You
I'm
just
coming
did an
to
interview.
school,
With-
And I'm like, I don't know.
I won't be here for long.
Yes.
Yeah, and then we'll just make plans like, oh, what are we gonna do this summer? I was like,
Yeah,
just
right.
let me know.
Sure, yeah,
I don't know.
Somebody's like,
Meanwhile, I'm like, I gotta buy like jeans and like a sweater for
Yeah.
maybe America.
Yeah.
Man.
And then it'd be like, do you want to go to because I was doing like IB, so like math,
Yeah.
HL, and I'm like, I don't want to be
I don't- I'm tired, especially once you get into that mindset, like I might go.
Yeah, but then I was like, oh, maybe I should work harder so
Yeah.
that I get the good grades that I need to go because I think they still needed to see
The
Like
transcripts
The,
Yeah,
yeah,
the
like the
transcripts.
transcripts. Yeah.
'Cause it
at the
was
U.S.
either-
embassy or like at the school once you get here, like the official transcripts.
all. I think all of it.
Oh.
Because it was
'Cause she
either,
wasn't done.
I wasn't done. I still had one more year of high school, so I
Mm.
know that some people were maybe gonna get held back depending
Yeah,
on what.
Depending on
Oh,
what.
I see
So I
what
was
you're
like, I
saying.
gotta make sure that
I'm not
get
wasting
the
any-
grades, and obviously my parents, if my parents see like anything below,
They might change
they're
their
like,
mind.
actually, it's not even worth it.
Come
You're
back.
not even serious about school.
Yeah. So you. Oh, so you
Wow.
never let.
No.
Did you say like remove
never-
the foot off the gas?
No,
so
I
you
never
kept
let up. I
doing
was just
everything like nothing.
full speed ahead. I was like a chance
Sure.
to go to America. If
I'll
I have to
take
spend all nighters, I would
I'll
have done
do
it.
Man. Okay.
So at what point did you get the answer that this
So
is
the
it?
answer, honestly, I got it maybe a month or two before I left, and I left in I think it was like August of 2011.
Yeah.
So I knew in June, July.
Yeah.
Okay.
That even my siblings didn't know,
Huh.
because it was so unsure. Because it was
Yeah.
still
Wow.
you got it's a lot of money
I bet.
when they because the schools are like, oh yeah, it's gonna be $80,000
A year.
Say it
a
again.
year for high
Yeah.
school.
Like you want to say that one more time?
Uh-huh.
Did you s-
That's
did you say
a
80?
house. 80. That's actually
That's a
multiple
whole
houses.
business.
So
Like
that's when I was like, there's no way
You could- the
unless
parents.
my parents are Bill Gates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Without that, there's
wow.
no way that's
And
happening.
especially like for high school, because usually high school like is very cheap back home. Like
Yeah.
compared to like paying that much money like for.
Yeah, obviously, like it was nowhere near that.
Mm-hmm.
But even then, like anything within, because in school, like Notre Dame, where I
Mm-hmm.
was going, it was like 17 Rwandan francs.
Yeah.
Trimester.
Trimester.
Yeah, so I don't know what is that.
It's about
That's
$10.
like, that's like $10. I was paying-
17,000.
No, so it's about $10.
Maybe
That's no
$17.
17,000 is $170.
Is it? No.
17,000, not 170,000.
It's not 1,700. It's 17,000. It's $170.
$1 is 1,000 something.
It's $17.
Yeah.
17.
Yeah, more like 12 and
Because-
13. Yeah.
Yeah, something. So like.
Wait,
for
wait,
the
wait. Are
year-
we saying this right? Please. I
I swear,
actually now I'm
'cause
like
$1 is 1,000.
1,000. But it's not
17?
1,700. It's 17,000.
Rwandan
Like
francs.
The sit meal.
Like, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, the sit meal is
Is-
17. Oh. Oh my God!
Dear-
I thought it was 170,000.
Dear audience, I apologize for-
Oh my
I apologize for
God.
what I'm about to say.
Do not whatever
Do not
you're
let
about
me
to
know.
say.
Anyway,
It's an open space.
yes,
It
but
is. I
okay,
would
so
agree
like,
with that, but my
but
God.
usually when we say like we paid for high school, people don't usually hear understand because public high school
Yeah.
you don't pay here in the U.S.
Here, which
So like we paid for school,
yeah,
like,
with
but it's
their
still cheap,
public-
you know.
Yeah, so it was a public school.
Yeah.
So a year we were paying like at least at Notre Dame,
Mm-hmm.
I was paying less than $100
For a year.
And then we went to Green Hills, and that was a huge deal because that's when we were
1,000.
talking about 1,000.
Yeah.
Still,
It's a trimester.
It's like a
lot
huge
of
jump.
money.
Lot-
It's a
yeah.
massive
Jump
jump.
from,
So it better be
yeah.
worth it. And now we're talking about high school, like
Times
that's
10, times
like
100.
a flight to America is more than what we were paying.
Yes.
Probably like for 6
100%.
years.
Yes.
Yeah.
What I paid for 6 years,
Yeah.
like
if Oh,
Yeah.
IFK.
True.
No. You can say ifak now, but
I
Yeah, okay. I keep
Ifak.
forgetting.
Yeah. So then, once we agree, and my parents were, you gotta be a good student. You gotta do all these things. No distractions. Of course, they sent me to the one school that we were not allowed to have Facebook up until. So they would no, we could have Facebook, but they limited
The amount of
hours.
time you
The
spend.
screen time.
they
yeah.
would no, they would. It would be blocked off of the network up until 7 p.m. or something.
Then you can go
Wow.
on social
Yeah.
media. Oh,
Then you can
wow.
do social
Dang.
media,
And it
then,
wasn't a big thing back then. So wow.
well, that's how I was communicating with everybody back
Yeah.
in Rwanda.
Left us.
oh,
I know, cause I left. I think I told you guys.
The last
Maybe,
minute,
like,
I think for
the
us,
la-
it's like
the
I'm
last
going.
I'm leaving tomorrow.
I was like, guys, next week,
Yeah,
America.
something like that.
And I think a few people came to say bye
yeah.
to me.
At the
'Cause
airport.
I was frazzled. I was like, I don't know what's going on. I was running around buying. I had one suitcase that had sweaters.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because now I'm going from wearing a uniform.
Yes.
To, like,
to clothes.
Regular clothes.
Like,
yeah.
I can't be wearing my home clothes every day.
Yeah.
So,
But
yeah.
before we get to that, what was the interview process for you?
At the U.S. Embassy.
The
Yes,
interview,
embassy, yeah.
it was a little bit different. So I was able to get a visa through like my parents' job,
Oh, okay.
which that ended
Okay.
after that. So
Yeah.
I didn't
Okay.
have to go through the F1
Oh, wow.
the first go round,
Oh, okay.
which
Oh,
was a huge
okay.
blessing. Yeah, so
Yeah.
that helped.
He's like, boom.
Because I didn't have
Guaranteed.
to go like line
Nothing,
up.
no interview
Yeah.
behind the, yeah.
Which,
Okay.
granted, when I got to the airport, they were like, "What is this visa?" I was like,
I don't know, I just got it.
"Me
as
and
well.
you both. I don't know."
I'm
gave me
just
the
here.
passport, I don't know what to tell
Privilege,
you.
yeah. That's
Like,
pretty
wow,
cool.
okay.
Yeah.
You get here.
So
what
I
was
get
your
here.
first? Did you travel alone? Or
No,
were
my
you-
dad came with me. I don't
That's
know what
awesome.
I would have done.
Really?
Because the last time I was on a plane was when I was a baby.
Yeah.
I was not,
You don't-
So my
yeah.
dad obviously like traveled for work more or
Yeah.
less.
Yeah.
So we get on the flight, and my siblings are like, "What? We don't know when we'll see her again."
Aw,
Like there's
they
just
can.
all these
They're
things. Yeah. so we
bawling
get on
out
the-
and crying, probably at the airport.
I was just excited. I was like,
Get me out of here.
I can't wait.
because you know what? Because Connecticut, we flew through Boston.
Yeah.
My favorite team is the Celtics.
Celtics.
In my mind, I'm like, I'm going to see the Celtics.
Yeah.
That's all.
Man.
Like
Until it was phew.
until I looked at a map, I was like, oh, it's not.
It's not that close.
It's not. It's like an hour and a half. But I just landed in. We landed in Boston.
Boston.
This is the first. I think we landed in the summer, and
Yeah.
even if you know, the summer is here.
It's hot. It's hot.
Warm. Yeah,
It's-
like,
we say like Rwanda is hot. It's different. It's dry.
different.
heat.
thank you.
Yes.
Like, it hit different.
It's
Like,
different
'cause-
because you could feel it everywhere.
Yeah.
And,
it
uh,
gets muggy
Yeah.
immediately. It's
and I
like-
always said, like, we grew up watching movies and listen to songs of like, oh, Africa is hot and everything. So, like,
Yeah.
you just take that in, and then you get here, like,
I'm like,
so they said Africa was hot? Like,
have you
They
been
have the-
outside?
like in the South, I went to school in Oklahoma, so like it was different. Like Texas,
Right?
Oklahoma. So, and then I'm like, dang, because like I don't know if you used Fahrenheit or Celsius.
All of it. I mean, 1 to 5,
Like, that's insane. Like, back home, you don't
40
experience
degrees.
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Back home, what is it like?
60 over 80.
Yeah, 80, 88.
Yeah.
On like a
Oh
really,
yeah.
yeah.
Like, yeah, tropical
The
weather.
only thing is the sun. Is back
True,
home. The
yeah.
sun is the only. I hear it's just like
The headache of
you,
the
you can be
sun.
under a tree back home and you're good.
Here.
But here doesn't matter where you are.
doesn't
as
matter.
long
You're not
as outside.
escaping.
Like the AC. Ooh.
Well, that's the thing, because you go outside, you're burning.
Yeah.
You go inside, you're
It's
shivering.
shivering.
Because when have you ever used AC?
Oh, yeah, because we don't have ACs back home. It's just like good
You
weather.
just open a window. The
Yeah,
breeze
and then
will
like
do,
the
yeah.
breeze.
will do this the rest.
Okay.
But here
That's the
they're
best thing.
blasting AC, and I'm like, I can't be wearing a sweater.
Inside.
Yeah, people. But
Yeah.
at the office, once you start going in the office, like people are actually cold.
I
In
wear
the office
a
because they keep-
full-on coat
In the
inside
su- in the
office.
summer.
I'm like, I'm not about to die here. And they're like, oh, what are you wearing? I'm like,
cold.
do you not feel what I'm feeling? Because I'm
yeah.
dying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Uh,
in the summer,
In the
it's
summer.
the same. In the winter, same.
Same.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you land,
In-
go through Boston,
Go to
then
Boston, and then we
Connecticut.
go to Connecticut the next day.
Was it the flight or was it drive?
No, it's like an hour and a half
An hour and
in
a
the
half.
car.
Drive.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who drove you?
The family friend who helped us,
Oh,
Okay,
that's-
okay.
Okay. Pretty cool.
was like super nice.
Yeah.
All this is happening for the first time. I'm just like, I don't know what's going on. I just know I'm about to be dropped off at school.
In the can't
After
wait.
that, I hadn't even thought about. I was like, I need a laptop.
Yeah.
I need all these
I need
things.
all
I was
that.
like, I just didn't think about it.
The excitement was just.
Yeah,
as
just
far
the
as
excitement,
went.
like, I
Yes.
was here.
On to the next thing, I'm like,
Yeah,
then
so
like,
then we get to the school. I think my dad had given him like it was like probably like a guest dorm thing. So they gave him that, and then they showed me to my school, and this is during orientation, so it's before class start.
Yeah.
We do that. I meet everybody. I don't know if this is allowed to say, but this is the most white people I'd ever seen.
Oh yeah, yes.
It is. It makes
I was just like, I don't know what's
It's like,
going on.
this came from
Everybody's
all-
speaking really fast.
Yes,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
especially if you're a
Sitting
French
there.
speaking person, like your
Yeah.
brain, and then you like everybody's just like, blah, 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 blah.
I'm like, I don't know. Are you talking to me?
He's like, what are you saying? Can you slow down?
Do
a
you know
little
the
bit?
one thing that I knew Americans do is they smile a lot, so I just smile. Yeah. It was. I probably looked unhinged for the first month.
Probably tired by the end of the day.
Like, why is she always smiling?
Cheeks hurt, like what?
Because you can only say, huh? How many
times can you say? Yeah, after that you feel like you
After
actually
that, I'm
becoming
gonna. It's a
like-
gamble. I'm gonna smile and walk away,
and see.
or
Yeah.
just
And
say
then
okay.
Yeah, because you feel it some type of way when you make somebody
Yeah.
repeat multiple times, which is like insane.
Mhm.
Like, why do I
Yeah.
have to feel this way? It's like it's not my language. Here.
Right, it's-
I'm
yeah.
trying, but you feel like, oh, I'm bothering them because
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Which-
like, but you try.
But then again, you try
They
to speak,
understand. Yeah,
and
I'm
then
trying
they have to
speak,
make
and
you
I'm
repeat
so
yourself.
slow, and the accent.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
which like we all had the same like really thick accent,
Yes.
Yeah.
Oof.
and it's
Man.
very slow. So I was like, you gotta meet me
Yes,
somewhere.
please, somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we do all that, and then I like put my suitcase away, and then my dad,
Yeah.
it's like, well, we gotta go get you a computer. We gotta get you I had to get like shoes,
Nice.
Oh
yeah.
wow.
Like,
Okay.
things that I
Mm-hmm.
Needed,
Like I needed
yeah.
basketball shoes,
Yeah.
more than one pair that I had. So
Yeah.
we do all that, and then he had to leave. I think after like a day or two.
Yeah.
This is when it set in. I was like,
It's like,
oh.
I'm here by
I
myself.
was like, dang, this is real.
Wow.
He said bye. He had to go back to whatever, and
Yeah.
like the airport, and then go back work.
Yeah.
I'm
You're
just
like-
sitting there, and you're meeting all your new classmates, and
No Africans, no Rwandans there. Was
no
there anybody?
Rwandans.
Oh.
I think
Dang.
in the whole, I think there was like one more African kid, and he came about a week after me.
Yeah.
So right now I'm
you're
just doing
there by
orientation,
myself.
and they're like, a fun fact. I'm like, have you ever been asked a fun fact? It was-
No. I
I had to be like, what is that?
break the ice
Yeah.
icebreakers.
icebreakers.
I was
Fun
like, I
fact.
don't. A fun fact.
Like, what
I'm
does
from
that-
Kigali.
Okay.
They don't know where that is either. So I was like,
You have to
like,
explain.
I'm learning all these things at the same time,
At the
and it's
same
all
time.
like boarding school,
Oh man.
and people are from like all over New England, and it's like a different culture.
Yes.
Uh huh.
So I'm sitting there, I'm like, what did I get myself into? Like, what
Uh-huh.
am I doing here?
What about food though? Like, how did you like get a like? What's your
food?
transition? Like, you get here, you like school starts, and you know.
It was incredible. There's no other way. Here's the thing. I don't know how I love food. I didn't think I loved it.
That girl.
So do we call you foodie? Do you call yourself foodie?
I mean,
feel
I
it's a
I
word.
wouldn't label myself, but like, yeah.
Yes. Okay. Go ahead.
But
Continue.
it wasn't in that. It wasn't like that kind of. It was just all the options.
If you watched a few episodes back,
Yeah.
this guy talks about food as well. One of the like paradise, like
It was
This
just
is
crazy.
Like going to the cafeteria and see like you can eat all you can, all these
know.
cookies
go
and
back
all
as
this
much
like
as you can.
like
The first time I was like, all this is
All
for
this
us.
is right.
They're like, yeah,
But
just like.
Green Hills we ate also.
We
it was
did,
different.
But it was
But it was different. so I'm moving.
There's
through,
levels to
like,
this ish.
There's
There's
Notre
a- oh
Dame.
yeah, it's like
There's Notre Dame is very much so down.
Kauga.
It's wild.
yeah.
It was just I just had to eat to feel full.
Yes.
We get to Green Hills. Green Hills, we would leave in the morning.
Yeah.
We'd have breakfast,
Yes.
which is just like tea and like bread with whatever.
Man, like
depending on the day.
when you mentioned like how many times you guys ate at school,
was
5 times.
insane.
Amazing.
I'm like,
Because then we get 10 a.m.
Yeah.
We
there's
get like
breakfast.
freshly made tea and like baked stuff.
tea, baked, yeah, it's
Like-
Yeah.
whatever. The
And I'm like, I
beignet
had
or,
breakfast
the
at
little burgers.
6:45. I'm having 10 a.m. Well,
Yeah.
because what time do we start school?
I know you.
Or like 7:30?
You and somebody else and me were always at the first to get there.
'Cause
in
our
class,
parents
and
had
we
to
just-
go-
Yeah, they had
our
to go
parents
to
had to
work,
go to
so
work
they
at
just
7
drop you off.
Oh.
or whatever, or 8.
Because
So
I think it was
yeah.
like at 7:30 that everybody needed to be in class, but we
Yeah.
were always there
We-
like at 6:57, and then we wait
Like
for
we're
30 minutes.
waking up at the crack of dawn.
Yeah.
So by 10 a.m. it's like running out.
It's
So I'm
like,
like,
yeah,
all right,
it's
get more fuel.
refuel.
1
Nice.
p.m.
You eat.
Lunch.
A whole new plate, and this is like
Lunch.
there'd be like chicken and stuff.
Yes, we had.
At my other school, I had meat maybe one time, and that was on Parents' Day.
They have to show the parents that they are eating.
Yeah.
Because it was like a Catholic school, like Notre
Yeah.
Dame. So like you probably like when they like at least IFAC, it was like a Don Bosco. So like Don Bosco Day, like that's when like the boarding school students ate like good food.
No.
Yeah.
And
We
then
had
other than that, it was
meals,
like
yeah.
just like a regular.
It was
Your
either
parents'
rice and beans, or sweet potatoes and beans, or fufu and beans.
That's it.
Man,
Green Hills.
So Green Hills, we're eating
Update.
then. And then
soft life.
Yeah, it was as soft as you can go. And then when we did the day,
US.
the like start staying a little bit
Oh,
longer, we
long.
would then have a 4
dinner,
p.m.
Yeah, you have a
Like,
4
this is
p.m. and then you have a
outrageous.
dinner as well.
Yeah.
Like, and it's good food.
It was good food. It was great food.
Great
And then
food.
I go home and eat again.
Yeah.
Thank God we were playing basketball. 'Cause
I know.
otherwise,
True,
yeah.
true.
Man,
And then I get to the U.S. I've never seen a breakfast spread.
Breakfast way?
spread.
Spread.
Oh. I'm like, there's yogurt and granola.
Yeah.
I had to ask, what is this?
Like, how do you eat
What-
this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just watch other people, and then like you just go. There's
As the
eggs.
time.
There's
Like
sausage,
waffles
there's
and
waffles and the first
bacon.
day I took a little bit of everything. I couldn't even finish. I was just like, this is amazing.
Like that is so mean. Like that was so mean. I was like, oh, pizza, I'll take that. Burger, I'll take that. Fries, I'll take
Yeah, I
that.
was mixing things that do not like,
You're
mix.
You're like, instead of having a balanced meal, it's just carbs
Everything.
on carbs on carbs.
Yes.
And then chocolate milk. It's just like,
No cookies for you?
no, of course I had to come by.
She gets it. She gets it.
What do you mean? It's there for
Man.
me to consume.
Oh.
Oh my god.
It was wild, and we were doing sports.
So you like you were hungry.
You have to. Yeah,
You were like-
So
And
then
you were
I was-
running more than
We
ever.
were running, yeah,
How is
every day.
How is the like comparing to the type of practice?
I hated it.
So it was much more intense here.
I hated it.
Like it was like
because you know, like at Green Hills,
Yeah.
I just did basketball, and
Yeah.
we like the warm up.
the little
super
things,
light.
and then you start playing.
They're like, we're gonna run a mile, and I was
Yeah.
like, I don't run. I don't know how to tell you this, but like, I'm not a runner.
Yeah.
I will run.
Just
after
give me
a
the
ball,
basket-
Yeah,
Basketball
give me
and
the
then-
ball, I run after the ball. Yeah.
but don't. So now we're doing preseason.
Yeah.
like
Preseason.
usually in the fall.
That's when I was like, I want to go back home. Actually, like, I don't think I'm made for this.
Yeah.
Because all you do is, because preseason there's no class.
Yeah.
You're running.
You're running every morning.
And
You
lifting.
have morning practice. You have
Afternoon
afternoon
lifting.
practice, and then you're doing like a
Weights.
makeup game,
Yes.
whatever.
Yeah. You're running. How do you call them again? The little scrimmage that you
yeah.
have to run.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
So I was like, I'm gonna be a goalie. We still had to run.
Oh, you
Like
were like,
for
let me
soccer?
switch.
Yeah.
Let me switch.
You still have to run as a goalie? Oh yeah, because
Yeah,
yeah, like the
you
whole
gotta-
team.
yeah.
Dang.
A team, you gotta do the
So
full
did
thing.
you switch?
Well, because it was a season.
Different seasons,
depending
like-
on the
Oh,
season.
okay,
So
depending.
summer.
Soccer was like in the fall, like
Yeah.
slash summer, and then
So-
in the when
and
it's
then-
cold,
and then when it's
then
cold,
you do
did
basketball season.
and then I did lacrosse. So
They
all
make
just
you
running.
Oh, you are like an athlete.
Yeah. Well, it was either lacrosse or track. Do you know who's not gonna run for no reason? Me.
She's not a runner.
Yeah. So I was like just learning all these things. I'm just like, is there a ball involved? Yeah, sure, I'll sign up.
Okay.
But oh my
wow.
god, I hated practice so much.
Practice.
Loved game day.
Yes.
Hated practice. But then it's like, because I'm not running, I'm so out of shape, and I'm just drinking chocolate milk.
Man.
It was insane.
But if I may, I mean, talking about like, sports, if I may ask, like, what was like, how do you feel like you did in sports? Like, were you like, number go-to person when it came to basketball at your school? Like, were you like,
I
you know,
wouldn't say so. I was like just a safe middle.
okay.
Like if
But you were a starter. Like, did you start?
I was
did you?
a starter, for
okay.
sure.
Like, they needed that size. Like,
they
you probably like
need-
were
they
taller than
needed
other
size,
kids.
and I could fool you. But then it's like if you get aggressive, I'm like, stay away from me. Like, I don't want to fight. I'm not.
I'm just
like,
here to go to school.
Like,
Like,
I'm
this
here
is
so I
this
don't
is
get
extracurricular
fired.
activities.
Yeah.
This is when you start realizing that there are
like-
people that play for
yeah.
different reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm
I was
here
like,
to have fun.
actually, yeah, not for me.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed I think it was really nice to have the structure and the coaches, and also that helped me with language, because I'm in this country, I'm learning a new language, like fully immersed. I'm seeing the same people every day,
Yeah.
class and all that.
Becoming
So
friends.
it definitely helped.
Community,
And
yeah.
like I'm making friends beyond just my class, and I have friends in like
Sports.
sports.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you start connecting,
Okay.
you start integrating yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And wow, did you finish the high school in basketball, or did you eventually stop playing sports, or did you just?
It wasn't an
commit to
option.
everything? It wasn't an
Oh,
option
because you
for
came on a
to
scholarship
become-
before.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't. It was more like you have to play
Play
Oh,
sports.
something.
I apologize.
Yeah,
Sorry.
no, it's okay.
For high school, you have to play.
You have to
sports?
be, yeah, it's like part of the whole like curriculum there. It's
Curriculum.
like you have to do something after school.
And you played 3 sports.
Well, yeah, because every season is a
Every
new
season had to be
option.
something.
Wow.
There was other options, but I was like, yeah, I'll do soccer. I'll
Yeah,
do
I'll do this,
basketball,
and
and
then
I'll do like in the spring. It was a toss up. It's like you either do track
or
or you do lacrosse.
Lacrosse.
A lot of the girls that I was talking to at the time and like in my class were doing lacrosse. I was like,
So
yeah,
like, sure, I'll join.
of course.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
I
different,
was
like
playing
type
on
of,
turf, and I was like, I don't want to be running
Yeah.
every minute of every day.
and it's
Now
like
this
a different type of like conditioning when it comes to lacrosse. Like,
Yeah. 'Cause
man,
then
like
you're doing,
hand-eye
at meets-
coordination
at meets,
and
you're like doing the jumping over stuff, and it's like,
yeah, like
not for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay.
So now the
Wow.
combination of school and sports, how is school, you integrating with school?
School,
Was anything different?
At first, it was tough because half the time I didn't know what they were saying. Because now English is for
it's
real.
now become,
Yeah.
accent.
For the first month, I'm pretty sure I showed up with no homework because I was like, I didn't hear you ask for homework.
Huh.
And I'm just here. I'm like, okay. Yeah.
Go home.
Out there smiling.
Like, yeah,
just
where's your
math.
homework?
The only
Huh?
thing that I knew was when we were in math class because like,
It's
oh,
math.
I know.
Math is
you know.
math.
X plus Y is equal to
Yeah.
10. Like you can see that in
Algebra,
any
whatever,
language.
I'm like, I got you.
I got you.
This is great. Trigger like,
But history,
yeah.
everything else.
We had an ethics class, and the guy was like,
Ethics.
there was this,
In
this
high
was a
school?
very different type of high school, like high
Was
school
it a
thing.
religious school?
No, thank God.
Okay. Ethics?
Yeah,
Wow. In high school?
yeah.
How was the experience?
So it was something ethics, something. It was honestly really fun once I got into it.
Okay.
But it's, you know what else that we were not prepared for is the amount of reading that you have to do in this country, because it was always about math, physics.
Yes.
You get the answer right,
And you
or
memorize the
wrong.
definitions and everything. You just
as
keep it
long as you
moving.
memorize, you're good. Here they're like critical thinking. You gotta read. You gotta make a sound argument. So that was when I was like, I don't know what you want
You
me to
have
say.
to learn to
yeah.
express yourself.
Express
But
your
you
own
gotta
understanding
read.
in your own words.
Yeah,
your
Don't
own
don't
words. You gotta
regurgitate
understand
what I
it.
told you.
Back
Just
home, you
like
have to cram everything and repeat whatever you
Repeat it, and
that's
you have
how
to repeat
yeah.
it exactly how you got taught. Here they're like, nah, anybody can read.
Yes.
Like, what did you
How do
think?
you understand?
Yeah. So
I
the
like
first
that
month,
perspective that you just added because we've been just talking about we talk about in general in terms of education, but we don't go deeper into the
Yeah.
little details because that's something that I even completely forgot.
it's insane. Yeah, but yeah, so because you're used to being a straight A student
Yes.
there because the answer is there.
Is there?
Which like yes,
It's
we are
like-
also very smart.
Yeah.
But once you get here, there's an added level of like you gotta
Understanding,
read,
expressing.
understand,
Yes.
and express yourself in a
Comprehend.
language. Yeah, comprehend in a
Yes.
language that you're honestly
that's like your
still
third or
learning.
fourth.
yeah.
Your fourth, third language.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there and like we're doing all these things. In the first month, I'm like, I understand you're saying something.
But I don't know.
I don't know
what
where
you're
we're going with it. But after you get used to it, and it'll just be about anything. So it was ethics in that we would read a book or we'd read a
Yeah.
chapter,
And
and
then-
then we'll like. And I would hear
Discuss
my peers, my
some things.
classmates say stuff. I'm like, how did you even think about that?
I literally like I told him the same
Like,
thing. I was
yeah.
like, I think it was like a zoology class that I went to, and like my first semester I did like chemistry,
Mm-hmm.
which was math. I was like, okay, I can see that. And then that zoology class, like it was so many like, scientific names and everything. It was just more about discussions, and that people would like, some girl behind me, like a girl behind me, asked a question. I looked at her. I'm like, how did you even like think that, and then just like be able to ask like, how do you even get there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like usually looking back, I'm always like, man, give yourself some patience. You gotta get there. Like,
Yeah, but it's really.
But,
hard
like,
to
in that-
be
Really hard
patient.
because
Like,
you're
in
trying
that
to
time-
compare. You're
Yeah,
comparing, you're trying to
yourself, you're
integrate,
trying to
you feel
catch
like
up, you're like, I'm here for a reason.
yeah.
and
then
like I
that
can't mess up because like it's a lot of money
pressure,
for my parents that are
You're thinking
paying.
about that report card when you have to explain why you have a C in ethics. They're like, do you not know right from wrong? You know, like it's so much more than that.
More-
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
How long did it take you for that actual? Sorry.
No, no,
was,
go ahead.
Like, I wanted to ask, like, how long did that take you to actually start saying, I can understand what you're asking for? And
It took me about a month and a half, 2 months.
That's
when I was
fast.
like, that's when
Yeah.
I started actually understanding what's being said.
Okay.
Okay.
Because remind you, I didn't really have like a phone.
Yeah.
I was working.
Yeah.
So we went to the store. We got a phone. We got a prepaid phone or something.
Yes,
I
yeah.
didn't realize that there's extra steps. So
Yeah.
I have this like flip phone. It's not even a smartphone. I'm like,
Yeah.
I can't make calls.
Yeah.
I can't get calls.
Yeah.
So if I need to talk to my parents, they would call on like the dorm phone. Literally, it was like on the wall.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be in the dorm every single
Yeah.
minute. So I talk to them once a week.
Yeah.
Wow.
Other than that, it has to be English. Or like
That's
Facebook
the only
friends
time
Man.
you have.
at
yeah.
night for an hour. I had
Yeah.
an hour of Facebook.
So now you're completely immersed in
You have to
English
speak
language.
English.
Yeah.
There's
I'm sorry. It sounds like you're in prison because like you have 1 hour of like
No, it was-
recess,
yeah.
1 hour sometimes.
It's not just made everything. It's like going to court.
Do you accept the phone? I'm like, yeah. My friend's like, yep. I had to buy airtime. I had to go to the store
Uh-huh.
to buy
Credit or
money,
like,
credit,
Put it in the
if I need to make a phone call.
yeah, yeah.
It was wild.
Same.
Sometimes I'm
I
like,
remember
man, I
that.
can't believe we made that.
What
But
was okay? Yeah, I know. I just asked about the school, but so keep going with that because it just reminded me like now you separated completely from the culture, and now you have to completely immerse in that. Was there any mental health toll? Did you even think about mental health, or
I
you
didn't
just
know,
know
I
like
didn't
I
know
need
that
to
it was
push?
mental health.
Yeah.
I just knew I was struggling.
Yeah.
And I didn't know how to explain that I'm struggling to people who back home are like, yeah, she's in America.
It's a privilege. Like you
It's a
can't, you shouldn't be
privilege.
complaining.
And I'm like, nobody here understands me.
Yeah.
I don't understand the people.
You can
And it's
tell
just a
back
very
home.
different culture. And I'm coming into my last year of people
Yeah.
who have been together for 3 years.
Yes.
3-4 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm just
Complete
sitting
an
there. I'm like,
outcast.
yeah. I think honestly, I probably was a little bit because
Yeah.
I'm learning all these things. And mind you, I'm from a very strict family.
Yeah.
So there are things that I have no idea what is going on.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sitting there, I'm like, wow, like
What's
this
going on?
person, this person. I'm like, I'm just trying to go to school and like do my homework and do it again.
Yeah.
So then I would like have all these feelings. I have nobody to talk to.
Yeah.
But there's like obviously and this is when there's that thing of like a teacher's pet. But I wasn't a teacher's pet, but honestly, because the adults were so nice
Yeah.
to me,
Yeah.
I had to like.
Some sort of like pity
That's
on you,
what-
like this little African kid.
I
wouldn't even
it's
do
like
that,
they
yeah.
want to help you.
Okay, I'm glad it
Yeah, I
wasn't
see
because I've seen that at least in my own personal
I was
experience.
really fortunate that I think I'd like to think I have a little bit of a likable personality,
You-
even though I was like,
Yeah.
I'm struggling, but like at least I still have it in me. Yeah.
You,
So
you
people
never
were-
lost that you actually because a lot of people just
Personable.
yeah, they
So
come
I'm like, thank God, some people like me here.
yeah.
So like I would like kind of latch
the
onto
positive
them.
side,
Yeah,
yeah,
they're like
holding
the
on
few
to-
adults that like some of them were my coaches. It was like at least I can talk
can
to them
talk
a
to
little
you,
bit and like
yeah,
start
to
to open up.
Yeah.
But I think for the first month, 2 months, they would like write to my parents. They're like, yeah, she hasn't said anything.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure for the first 3 weeks, they're like, I don't think they're like
said
she
any
doesn't know English.
yeah.
She hasn't said a single
has
thing.
A word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man. Okay.
Few
So
months.
you make it through high school,
High school, yeah.
and
Before I make it through, do you know the hardest part
thank you. Go ahead.
coming into high school, into your last year, is college applications.
That's what I was gonna
'Cause
get to.
while
Like,
yeah, we were trying to figure out the new language, the
Yeah.
new system,
Yeah.
new friends, new culture. But also like, by the way,
You have to
You gotta-
you have to go to college.
there's
And
no
it's
gap
not- you
here.
don't just show up.
There's no gap year
I
here.
mean, that they offered that, and I was like, there's no way.
Like,
on
it's
God's
not an option
earth.
for me. Like, I'm gonna like
yeah.
a whole year.
I'm not ready
A
for
whole
it.
year, no.
So you went to grade 12 immediately. You did not
Yeah.
go to grade 11.
Because I didn't want to be held back. I was like,
Like,
I
yeah,
have to
makes
go.
sense.
I was
to go to
smart.
college.
Yeah. I
And
didn't.
then now it's like now
They
you
tried.
so you're
I was like,
adapting
no.
to grade
Yeah.
12, and now you have to
And they're like,
start
by the way,
making
you
applications.
need to go take TOEFL. You need to go take.
These
SATs.
Yes, you need to.
I'm like, another critical thinking thing.
So like the Cambridge system didn't like help at all in like some of those things at
It's
all.
not the
No.
same.
No, it's college.
different.
It doesn't matter. Even the
different,
people
yeah.
here.
No, I'm saying
still
like
know
with
it.
the TOEFL, like
Oh,
IELTS and then
Well, so
SATs or
Cambridge-
ACTs.
Remember the English test that we took for Cambridge?
yes, I remember
It was
everything.
wild because we took English as a second language.
Yeah.
The whole exam, you're gonna laugh because I feel like a fraud. The whole exam was like there'd be like a photo of like a baguette,
And you have to.
and they're like a
describe-
car. They're like, which one is a car? I was just like,
Wait, say it again.
it was so.
Oh,
I
that's
don't
how,
remember
I
that.
thought it was like when you say.
I don't.
It
There
was-
was
it was bad.
there was different sections, but I don't
Oh,
remember.
man.
I feel like it's
It
true.
was
I just
something like
don't
that.
remember something.
Because all of us took it.
Yeah, ESL.
Maybe,
Yeah.
Or maybe it was French. I don't know. There was
I feel like
one
it was
exam. Maybe it
One
was French.
exam. I think
Really?
it's
That-
French, because
And
English we
the
have to
whole
write.
class- Oh yeah, it was
We
actually
have to
French. The whole
write.
class, the whole francophone class,
Yeah.
finished within the first 15 minutes.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
then-
Yeah. There we go.
Oh,
Yeah.
maybe
The
it was that.
francophone
And then
class.
English, was, even though it was ESL, like we had the teacher that taught us,
Yeah.
and she would. I mean, she was
She was
kind
really
of hard on
tough.
us,
Yes.
but it helped.
It
Because
did.
now we're writing an essay about I don't know
Something
we
is
read
like
this,
she gives you a
book. Yeah.
subject and you have to think through this, but you don't know
That
how
was the first
to.
time I read a book in English.
Same.
Yeah,
Same.
I still have it. It's like a red book. Yeah.
What was there was a girl inside that we started calling nicknames on people.
Yeah. I don't remember.
I
but
don't
yeah.
remember, but there
that
was
kind of helped.
something. Yeah, it
That
was.
definitely prepared me. But then once you like taking it back to SATs, like SAT English is
Oh.
it's not English that you use
You
every day.
use-
No,
Yeah.
listen. Like I took the ACT twice back
too.
home, and it made me hate the English language.
Because it's not real English.
Like it was insane.
Yeah.
Like I would always wait for the math section.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That you fly through, and then you
Yeah.
get to, you're like, oh
It's
my
like,
God.
now, hey, you have to
Man,
express
like the critical
yourself.
thinking and
Think about
we.
this, do
Yeah.
this, write this, write about this.
Oh,
What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not
speaking of
just-
like college application and everything, because you have to like write essays to like
Mm-hmm.
to different schools that you want to
Yeah.
apply to and everything. Like, was that a tough?
That was hard. I don't remember what I wrote about. That was a long time ago. But I just remember being really overwhelmed because I was always in the college. What is it, like admin?
College board?
There was college. We had like an office that.
Oh, like
college-
counselor's office,
Yes.
like where like
Yeah,
they
yeah, advisors.
call it
Yeah.
advisor,
There's one, so
counselor.
now I'm navigating college as an international student is more expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now I have like the financial. I can only go to schools that offer me this,
Mm-hmm.
but also you have to score really high, and then you have to do all these things. So all my friends are like, getting into their dream schools, and I'm like, I don't even know if I'm
Like-
going to college.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I got into a couple schools, thank God. All of them did not give me as much
Scholarship.
money as
Yeah.
it was really
A lot.
expensive.
Mm-hmm.
It's like even if the school is like 60 grand, they're like, yeah, we'll give you 40. I'm like, that's still
Like
20.
20.
Yeah, yeah,
grand.
like-
for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
So that's when I got like that. We're talking about mental health. That's when I was like, I
You
don't
went
know
through it.
who to talk to because
Yeah.
nobody at home is gonna understand it.
Yeah.
Nobody here gets it,
Yeah.
and I'm just
by
like,
yourself.
oh, I guess like 1 year in America was it.
Yeah.
I really thought. I
Oh,
was like,
seriously?
Wow.
You like
Because
this?
I didn't
Yeah.
have, I
Yeah.
graduated and I still had not committed to a school. And some of the schools were like, I remember I wanted to do architecture.
Yeah.
So I applied to this school in Boston, and they flat out told me they're like, we don't accept international students.
Ha!
Yeah.
Like seriously, in an email,
Straight up.
like we don't accept.
Yeah.
That's
And I
harsh.
was just
what the hell? Like
wow, I never even
Considered like
considered
that.
that as
Yeah.
like a response. Yeah.
yeah.
So I got into all these schools. I'm like, yeah, this is great, but I still
You
can't
don't
go.
want- Yeah.
Yeah. So then I like packed my bags, and there was like some things with like miscommunication back home.
Yeah.
That they're like, oh, she might not want to come back. I'm like, oh.
Nah,
No,
I'm
I
ready.
just don't know what I'm doing.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I need some sort of like guidance. Like, hey, this is
Yeah.
like somebody, because like you're still young at that time, you don't know how to make a decisions.
Yeah.
Like, oh, and then like
And this is the
you were the only random you said
Yeah.
who was at your school. Like, if you
Yeah.
had somebody
Two
like to
Africans.
guide you, like, hey,
'Cause,
this
yeah,
is how
they
you
were-
can do
'cause,
things.
Yeah. So then two Africans came after me, but they were
Yeah.
all like the year behind me. So I was the only
like you.
like run-in.
You were the trailblazer.
Yeah.
I
At your
mean,
school.
yeah,
Africans,
you
it's
can
like,
say
yeah.
that, but
I
it
feel
was
like
wild.
It is because that's a different experience compared to everybody that we've interviewed. Because some way, some another, they were Africans that kind of guided them. Because we talked about community being a big thing, and somehow now, like people, like I say, bro, for some reason, anytime you're back home, all you want to is, hey, let me just get there. But
Yeah.
you don't really
You don't
know
think
like
about
things.
once you're there. Like,
Yeah, it's like
there's
what
a
are the
lot
things
of
that
things
Yeah.
you have to figure
Yeah.
out.
And you what, 16, 18 now?
I'm
that you're
16.
16
I'm
for the
16.
first
I think
time.
I turned 17.
And you're making like
Or
grown up
whatever.
decisions.
It's like, yeah, it's like, hey,
Yeah.
these are the
Well, I
things.
wasn't really. I was just like presenting options to my parents and then being like,
What
and
do
I'm
you
like,
think?
I understand this is a lot. Honestly, I was scared to even like say
Ask,
like.
because
Bring up
you
some
know
some
that-
options. Like,
I
hey,
can't
like
I can't show you this.
I have siblings. Like, I have siblings. They have to
Yeah.
eat.
Now
Three
to-
siblings. I still need to go to
Yeah.
school. Like I'm not an only child, so like I have to be for real.
To career. Yeah. So
Yeah.
now you're like, okay.
So now I'm doing all this, and then like obviously there's like some family friends that are here
Mm.
can like kind of
Help
nowhere
you?
close,
Yes.
but kind of understand it. So they
Mhm.
my parents would lean on them to be
Yeah.
like, hey, how did you navigate this? Or
Yes.
like, what do
Yeah.
you think about this?
Yeah.
And I'm just like I'm getting all these classmates are like, oh my god, I'm going to this, I'm going to Cornell, I'm going
Yeah.
to this, and I'm like, I'm going home in the summer, and I don't know if I'm
when
coming
I'm
back.
coming back.
Please
yeah.
stop
That's
asking
for
me.
you.
Man.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. You're the
Now I'm like I think I was like, that's when anxiety started. I didn't know what that was. I
Yes.
just remember one day I was like, I need to go on a walk, and I'm probably gonna be crying.
Yeah.
I don't know why or how, but it's just
Man.
happening, and I
Yeah.
can't like because there's all this excitement, and
then
now
it's
there's like prom happening. There's all this, and I'm like, this is all great, but
like,
Like,
I don't
what am I
care.
doing in the
Yes.
fall?
What's tomorrow? Like I
There's
don't
some
know.
things that are weighing heavy
Yeah.
on yourself, and people
And
are
I
just
can't,
like,
and nobody gets it. No, there's nobody that can understand it. And people are like, "Oh my god, are you so excited to finish?" And I'm like, "Yeah,
Sure.
super excited to
super
finish."
excited.
Yeah.
It's
So
so
what
it's
next?
like,
Like,
And I'm like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna
Stop asking me that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. It's,
And then like you have that expectation from back home. Like, okay, Kelly, she's
She's in
abroad and
America.
everything.
Yeah.
That kind
do
of
you
like.
know what we're thinking? Kelly's in America.
She's made
Go.
it.
Yes,
Yeah.
but like they don't know like Kelly's going through
Yeah.
it.
going through it, never posted
And you
on
can't
Facebook,
even actually
nothing,
say
yeah.
anything
Can't say
because you
anything.
feel like, oh my god, like this is a privilege to be
Yeah.
here. Why am I feeling?
I
this
shouldn't be
way?
complaining.
I shouldn't
Everybody's
be
fighting
complaining.
to be
So you
where I
have all
am.
these things
Yeah.
that are weighing on you, but you can't express
Yeah.
to anybody.
Man.
Yeah. So I'm just sitting there like,
Oh my God.
I'm gonna lose it.
So okay, like you've had those trials and tribulations in high school. You're trying to like apply. I think you mentioned something about like you end up going home.
Yeah, so I finished school, like I graduated, which that's the other thing. Graduation is like a huge like
Big
celebration,
thing here, yeah.
and that's like good luck with everything. So I'm like, well, everything is I still have 2 days to pack up and then go. So I packed everything because I'm not coming back to the
Yeah.
school.
Yeah.
Oh
And-
wow, because you got to get out of the
Just
dorms.
gotta get out
Yeah.
of dorms, and I have all these things that I amassed somehow.
Clean
And
and
I'm like,
get
what
it
am
out.
I can only take 2 bags on that
Yeah,
plane,
yeah, no
and
plane,
I'm not
yeah.
paying $400 or
It's just the
whatever
extra
for a
stuff.
third,
Yeah.
knowing that I'll be back maybe.
Yeah.
So I pack up and
Throw things.
a teacher like dropped me off at the airport. So then I moved back home and I'm like, I don't know what's next. People are like,
Wow.
oh, so
How
what's
did
next?
it feel though? Like when you got home, was there
When
any some of those weight that kind of left out, or were you still thinking about, hey, I gotta do this after?
I was excited to see you guys, to be honest, because I
Alright.
came right before graduation.
Yes.
And I was like, I'm excited to go see like you guys graduate. So it was like a little bit, and then you guys started talking about like what you're doing next. I'm like, yeah, I'm just trying to figure it out. Let's
Yeah.
just take it a day at a time.
And to be honest with you, I feel like I need to start apologizing to how I used to see things and how I used to
No,
be like,
it's fine.
oh, you in America,
I-
like you don't think too much about.
And you're
what's
like, must
going
be
on
nice.
because you're completely
Nobody
ignorant.
knows.
Completely
Yeah.
ignorant about it until you actually get to face it. And we don't even talk about that mental health at that age, or even
Yeah.
like at the time before mental health was not a big thing. So for
wasn't
us,
a
we're not
thing,
even
yeah.
thinking about
It's like
it.
stop
It's just
complaining.
Stop complaining.
You got
You're
it.
privileged.
You got,
like,
yeah.
So I have to apologize if I ever came out in the way
No,
like,
it's
Kelly,
fine.
you here? Like, tell us about
It
US.
was all
And you're like,
excitement. I was like, it's fine.
yeah.
But it was good. It was good because it made me to have a poker face.
Nah.
I'm really good at thinking
Right.
on my feet now.
Yes, like, yeah.
Yeah.